Welcome to This Explainer. It's funny how life works sometimes. We spend so much time and energy trying to control absolutely every little detail, the outcomes, the timing, the exact way someone might react to a text we send. And honestly, it is just flat out exhausting. The more we try to force all those little puzzle pieces of life together, the more frustrated and drained we end up feeling. Think about it. We plan our lives down to the absolute smallest steps, right? We convince ourselves that if we just push a little harder, if we never ever let go of the steering wheel, things are finally going to fall into place. But why does that approach almost always fail? We just end up feeling way more anxious when things inevitably go off script. What if trying so hard is the exact thing that's keeping you stuck?
So we're going to look at a total paradigm shift here. On one side, you have this illusion of control. It's all about forcing, grasping, and dealing with the intense anxiety that brings. But on the other side, natural flow. The core idea is that the very second you stop forcing and start actually trusting, things begin to just flow effortlessly. And to be clear, it's not about giving up. It's about figuring out where your real power actually lies.
Okay, let's jump into Section 1, the exhaustion of control, and why forcing outcomes ruins happiness.
We literally spend our lives obsessing over results. Just think about a normal day. You're waiting on a job offer, stressing over where a new relationship is heading, or swiping down to refresh your inbox for the 50th time, hoping you can somehow magically force an answer to appear. We tell ourselves, if I just work a tiny bit harder, I can make this happen. It's a classic modern trap, totally fueled by our fast-paced need for instant gratification.
But here's the catch. The more we cling to an outcome, the more anxious we become. That constant clinging completely ruins the actual process of living, because when we do this, our happiness isn't something we're generating on the inside anymore. Nope. It becomes completely dependent on unpredictable external factors that we literally cannot control.
Which brings us to Section 2, the Stoic mindset shift, ancient wisdom for modern anxiety. Enter the concept of Stoic detachment. This is all about accepting what comes naturally. And most importantly, not wasting your energy fighting against reality. And that's a huge point. Fighting reality is a complete and utter waste of your precious energy. If you're constantly stressed out, feeling like nothing is going your way no matter what you do, well, you might be holding on way too tightly to things you were never meant to control in the first place. Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor, understood this on a really deep level. He said, "The real battle is always within, training the mind to focus on what can be shaped and letting go of the rest." He knew that struggling against things outside of our control guarantees one thing, and that's suffering. You've got to train your mind to zoom in only on what you can actually shape. Moving right along to Section 3, detaching from the outcome, breaking the chains of expectation. Another Stoic philosopher, Epictetus, taught an absolutely crucial lesson about the friction between our reality and our attachments. He basically pointed out that we don't suffer because of what happens in reality. We suffer because of our stubborn attachment to how we wanted it to happen. All that pain, the anxiety, the frustration, it lived right there in the gap between those two things. And this gives us the ultimate formula for true confidence and calm instead of panic. Epictetus said, "Do not seek for things to happen the way you want them to. Rather, wish that what happens happens as it should, and you will be happy." So instead of chaining your happiness to one super specific, rigid outcome, you just embrace whatever unfolds, knowing for a fact that you can handle it. Next up, Section 4, embracing the daily process, where your power truly lies. When you get right down to it, there are really only 3 things we completely control in life. Step 1, your actions, like physically putting on your shoes and hitting the gym. Step 2 is your discipline, actually sitting down and putting in the focused time to study your work. And Step 3 is your mindset, processing your thoughts, maybe by writing in a journal. Mastering these daily steps is a total game changer. Pour every ounce of your energy into these 3 things and let go of all the rest.
When you actually start doing this, it triggers a massive transformation. Step 1 of that transformation is letting go of the desperate chase. It's that mental shift where you finally release your white-knuckle grip on the steering wheel of life. Honestly, it's like letting out a deep breath you didn't even realize you were holding. You stop that frantic, stressed energy of trying to force every single door open.
Which brings us naturally into Step 2, allowing things to unfold naturally. Think about a river flowing, a plant quietly growing, or clouds drifting by. There is this incredible natural flow that returns to your life the moment you stop fighting reality. When you start accepting what comes instead of constantly pushing back against it, things usually work out so much more beautifully than your rigid plans would have ever allowed.
And finally, step 3, finding calm and certainty within yourself. This right here is the ultimate picture of peace. By focusing only on your actions, your discipline, and your mindset, you build real, unshakable confidence. You start moving through life with certainty instead of frustration. And the absolute best part, you end up getting what you want out of life without having to desperately chase it.
So, the big takeaway here is that your true power comes from the process and from finally letting go of the outcome. Focus heavily on what you can shape and just drop the rest. Now, if you want to master this and figure out exactly how to build that daily process, you're definitely going to want to subscribe for part 2 of this explainer, where we dive a whole lot deeper. Hit that button real quick. It takes less than a second, but it really helps us bring this content to more people who need to hear it. But before you go, I want you to ask yourself, what is one specific outcome you need to let go of today? Take a second to really think about that, and I'll see you in part 2.